Oh, hey guys. I was just here just giving ideas. There's nothing more to it. It's just you can go as far as your mind really wants, and that's the whole idea that we had here. Like, with what we're showing you. And why we do this and why we show these things to you all is because there are a lot of people out there that say how to do these things and then they don't really show you very clearly, or maybe it's not understandable, maybe it's not, working for you. And, this is why we try to make these things as easy to understand as possible, for anyone who is trying to get into these things. Now, this tutorial is a little bit more advanced. I would say it's not exactly the easiest tutorial to follow, but if you practice and you practice and practice and practice these things, eventually you will end up satisfied with something, right?
I wouldn't really say this is an actual tutorial. I would say it's very closely like a
Yeah.
guide on how to make these type of assets and
Yes,
working
it's
on
an
different
asset.
ideas.
Yeah, it's an asset guide. I call everything a tutorial because I used to do a lot of videos on YouTube, so I just call everything tutorial. But that's just me, which isn't right. I'll be honest with y'all. But the main point is there's a trickery to everything when it comes to making games. You want to make the illusion seem real enough for what you're going for. Like, let's say if you're making a hyper realistic game, then you're gonna need to use a lot of trickery to make it look as real as possible, right? And if you're going for more something like retro style, like this here, then you're gonna want to, keep it a little cartoony in some ways, but also retro vibed in some sort of way. And to do this, you would want to create something like PS2 graphics, right? Because PS2 was very retro for its time, something along those lines, like he was saying, right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
just like a certain game
And
that we're working on it now that we cannot mention because very secret, and that's where the flashlight tutorial came from. That's an actual tutorial.
also, guys, we haven't mentioned this about our old game, but I figured we might as well mention this. We stopped creating it temporarily for a while. We're putting it down because our last game, when we exported it, there were some build error problems that were due because of what, to be exact? You said you think went wrong?
The game was like had a bunch of unused things, a bunch of things that were scrapped overly big, and probably some of the
Yeah.
ways we did the code. We managed to
Where
fix
this
most of
one,
the errors.
the
Our goal is to make like
yes, we
absolutely
did.
no bugs.
But, at the same time, guys, just because that game didn't drop didn't mean that we didn't have an experience. And now getting our feet wet, our next game build will come in the near future. Can't give dates, no information, no none of that because we keep the secrets to ourselves. Because let me put it this way, if it just kind of reminds me like of that one YouTuber. You know how like when that one YouTuber Corey Kitchen said, "I don't know when I'm coming back." Like it kind of reminds me of that, but it's kind of like the same thing with us being game developers, right? Or developing a project, coming up with ideas, this and that. We don't know when we're dropping these projects. We don't know. We
Yeah,
can't. We can't just tell you, like, because we genuinely don't know. But we want to bring you all something that will be enjoyable, and that's when you will see it. When we feel that it's time to release it, and that pressure with what we had with Penguin War was way too. It was old, outdated for one. The idea was way too late. Um, we had poor execution on it. Maybe in the future we'll have a recreation of it that will actually be another playable build that's actually working without black screening. And we understand that some of y'all were really hyped for that, but we can assure you that the next project will not be that way. That's something that we're not going to rush
we
because
may
now we
add another person to the team. Very
exactly, and always
chaotic.
adding.
Can't say who it is, but
Yeah.
just know your hint. They were previously in the Discord, I think. I think they might be still in it. Which
Oh
means
yeah.
we could possibly be releasing 3 games near the same time due to 3 projects.
The amount of yeah. And we're always learning. Like we ourselves are developers that are also learning. So like we are all learning together as one. Like we're all trying to teach people things, and I don't know everything. He doesn't know everything. None of us do. We just do what we can, and that's how we learn. And sometimes you're gonna have to hit your head on the wall a few times to get there, but eventually you will figure it out. It's just it will happen.
Yeah.
Eventually you will find that one game that you were very happy with.
Or
And let me put
anything.
it
Like, I don't know, models. Fuck.
now.
I just smacked my desk. Anyways, continue that we were saying, like models, paintings, anything. This goes for anything. Just don't, you know, give up. I mean, yeah, it seems
Oh,
like we gave up on Penguin Warfare, but eventually we
and
came
we did.
back to it. Or,
Yeah, he still finished the product even though he knew it was going to fail. Like that in itself tells you that not listen. It reminds me of a good quote from someone like Thomas Edison. He intentionally failed thousands of times to make the light bulb because he wanted to see what would happen if he did it wrong several times, right?
yeah.
Before he released the original thing. So consider it like that, guys. Like sometimes you're gonna make a project and you're not gonna be happy because maybe something didn't go as planned. Like maybe the export failed, maybe it bugged out during export, or whatever it may be. But don't let that discourage you because that should only make you want to try again and try again. And eventually you're going to learn something new because that's what we did. You know, that's how you learn. It's called trial and error because we all make mistakes when it comes to things, especially when it involves code because we're not computers. We tell computers what we want them to do, and they try their best to do what we tell them to, but sometimes they get confused. And that can happen, guys. And there's no shame in saying, well, is it my fault? No, it's not exactly your fault. It's just maybe you weren't ready for that project. You went way too hard. You tried to do too much. Because also solo development can be rather really impossible in some cases for some people, right? Because you don't know what you yourself is capable of. Maybe you're a voice actor. Maybe you're not made to do that one particular job. Maybe you're a sound designer. Maybe you're a storyboard person that just comes up with a story. Maybe has ideas. And you need people like that in your team that have different ideas and ways to go about things. Maybe they didn't like how something plays out in that game scene, and they're like, let's scrap that, let's change that, let's see if we can alter that. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. But,
Yeah. I'm
and
sure maybe
also,
you all, but not get that yet.
stating the next video should actually be a little teaser on what may be coming. I don't know. Only one of the games will be a teaser. Only one teaser right now because we don't know how to have the other teasers done. By the time we get those might be the second next videos. They could be today. They could be tomorrow. They could be weeks. I don't know.
Now, what you're probably wondering is there a teaser here? Like with these barrels or any of this stuff here, like what we're playing
Uh,
with. Um,
yes.
eh,
I mean,
yeah,
sorta.
but we can't really tell you, like
There could be. They
because
could be.
there could be, we'll just tell you there could be possibility, maybe.
But on this note, enjoy the teaser after this video. Bye.